In the construction industry, engineers and architects are two of the most prominent professions. While both professions play an increasingly important part in the building process, engineers and architects are responsible for different aspects within the field of construction. Architects are people who were trained to plan, design, and oversee the development of a building. On the other hand, we have engineers who are people responsible for applying mathematical and scientific principles to give technical solutions to construction problems. But what if the line between architecture and civil engineering was blurred? This is a question that has been at the forefront of discussions in the Philippine construction industry. In recent years, the construction industry in the Philippines has been marked by controversy and debate over the respective roles of architects and civil engineers. Two articles published by the Versatarian and the Philippine Star in 2011 and year 2015 respectively highlight the ongoing tensions and discussions within the industry over the need for greater clarity and collaboration between the two professions. The first article discusses a proposed civil engineering law that drew criticism from architects who felt that it would undermine their expertise and training. The second article reports on a bill being pushed by architects to draw clearer boundaries between their profession and that of civil engineers. Both articles underscore the importance of collaboration and coordination between architects and civil engineers in the construction process, and the ongoing challenges of defining and differentiating their respective roles in an increasingly complex and interconnected world.
Today we will interview students taking the course BS in Civil Engineering and BS in Architecture. They are here to enlighten us about the misconception we usually hear from these two courses or profession. We have Miss Michelle Villaflor to represent the side of Civil Engineering. Good day, ma'am. How are you feeling today?
Day as well. I am flattered that you chose me to share my knowledge regarding the course I'm taking, and also for trusting me to enlighten you about the misconception about my course and its ally, architecture.
Alright, thank you, ma'am. We also have Mr. Cañete to share his knowledge about this course architecture. Hello, sir. I'm glad that you accepted our invitation to have you today, and I hope that you are feeling comfortable. Without further ado, let us now proceed to answering the most common question that lead people to misunderstand the profession or course Civil Engineering and Architecture. For the first question, we have, what are the purpose of your chosen profession? Let's hear the first answer from Miss Michelle.
The purpose of my chosen profession is to create, improve, and protect the environment in which we live. Also, it designs major transportation projects. Civil engineers conceive, design, build, supervise, operate, construct, and maintain infrastructure projects and systems in the public and private sector, including the roads, buildings, airports, tunnels, dams, bridges, and systems for water supply and sewage treatment. This profession can specialize in one of several areas of engineering, such as construction, geotechnical, structural, or transportation engineering. Innovations have their greatest impacts on the quality of human lives. Buildings are the largest contributors to greenhouse gases.
Okay, ma'am. Let's now hear the answer of Mr. Cañete. Okay.
Architecture is the art of designing buildings, but it is more than a structure. It is the planning and conceptualizing of every space within a building, providing innovative and beautiful solutions to every design problem in an edifice. Planning is the major role of architecture. It is the very start process before construction. It is a vital role that enables us to provide sufficient, effective, according to standard, and lastly, durable designs in a house. Architecture considers almost everything, every factor, most especially its user. They provide solutions ahead of the problem. They weigh things up and make sure that every plan and design in a building is sustainable and efficient.
Alright, we heard the definition of each course or profession. Let us now proceed to knowing their major focuses. What are the main purpose of work of civil engineering, Ma'am Michelle?
Civil engineers make powerful buildings and other pivotal facilities which can make our life great. The main purpose of civil engineers are concerned with designing, building, and maintaining man-made products and construction. This can include roads, bridges, canals, dams, buildings, and more at both local and small scales to huge-scale projects.
Okay, ma'am. How about the architecture students, Sir Cañete? What are your main goals in the field?
According to a famous architect, Vitruvius, in his Vitruvian triad, there are three principles in architecture: firmitatis, utilitatis, venustatis. That is stability, utility, and beauty. The main goal of architecture is to provide beautiful designs that are accompanied by its function or purpose and make sure that it is durable or sustainable.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am and sir. Let us now proceed to knowing the difference and similarities between these two courses. May I call on Miss Raylene Pakuldar? Good morning, Miss Pakuldar. How are you feeling today?
Good morning. I'm fine and appreciate you asking.
I'm glad to hear that, ma'am. We have heard a question that people have been thinking about the profession, civil engineering and architecture, and I hope you can share us accurate and factual information. It's about the difference and similarities of the said profession. Is there anything difference or similarities between them? And if yes, what are those?
Engineering and architecture, two distinct disciplines that share some similarities but have their key differences. Engineering is the application of scientific, mathematical, and empirical principles to design and build structures, machines, systems, and processes that solve practical problems. Engineers work to ensure that their designs are efficient, safe, and effective. Architecture, on the other hand, is the art and science of designing and planning buildings, landscapes, and other physical structures. It involves creating functional, aesthetic, and sustainable spaces that meet the needs of people. They also share some similarities despite of their differences. Both fields requires designing structures and systems to meet specific needs and require a strong foundation in mathematics and science. Additionally, engineers and architects must be proficient in using specialized software and technology to aid in their design and planning. Both fields also require attention to detail and focus on safety and sustainability. In many cases, engineers and architects collaborate closely to ensure that a project meets both functional and aesthetic requirements. Ultimately, engineering and architecture aim to improve the built environment and enhance the lives of those who use it.
Oh, I see. Thank you so much for that, Miss Pakuldar. That was indeed an eye-opening answer to our biggest question that somehow led us to misconception about these two professions. We have heard the answer from our interviewers already, and I hope that it helped each of you to become enlightened about the profession of civil engineering and architecture. But before we finally end this video, I would like to call Miss Ponte to summarize everything.
To wrap everything up, architects are people who were trained to plan, design, and oversee the development of the building. On the other hand, engineers are people responsible for applying mathematical and scientific principles to give technical solutions to construction problems. Engineers work to ensure that their designs are efficient, safe, and effective. Architecture, on the other hand, is the art and science of designing and planning buildings, landscapes, and other physical structures. It involves creating functional, aesthetic, and sustainable spaces that meet the needs of people. Additionally, they work to build and design structures for the betterment of the world and also for the safety of us humans.